I'm Phil Gale. Welcome to the programme. 2 days ahead of the Netherlands general election, the prospect of far-right populist Geert Wilders taking part in a new Dutch government is looking increasingly likely. With his Party of Freedom in line to become the second biggest in Parliament, he may find himself in a position to dictate terms over the formation of a new government. Most opinion polls still put the Prime Minister's People's Party in first place. But as Mark Rutte looks to secure a third term, he's feeling far from complacent.
I do believe there is a real risk that on March the 16th we can wake up in this country and Geert Wilders is leading the biggest party. That will send a signal to the rest of the world. You could say these are the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals in trying to prevent the wrong sort of populism to win. The half finals are in France in April and May. And then in September in Germany we have the finals. And I want the Netherlands to be the first country which stops this trend of the wrong sort of populism.
Let's join DW's Oliver Sallet, who's in the Dutch city of Rotterdam. Welcome, Oliver. We heard Mark Rutte there raising the spectre of a win for Geert Wilders' far-right Freedom Party in Wednesday's elections. Is that likely, or is he trying to scare voters?
It's a bit of both, really. Prime Minister Mark Rutte used a very dramatic rhetoric here today. We've just heard it in the soundbite when he said that the elections here in the Netherlands would be the quarterfinals, as he said, in a fight against populism across Europe. And he also stressed that polls recently cannot be trusted, as we've seen after the UK referendum and the US elections. What he really does have to do here is to get people out to vote and show their support for the governing Liberal Party here. And this is why he uses this kind of rhetoric. In fact, it's still possible that the Wilders Freedom Party would be the strongest party. But we have to say, even if that happens, it's very unlikely that they could form a coalition. All of the other parties are rejecting that. So Rutte is under pressure to show and to get people out to vote here.
Now, Mark Rutte faces off with Geert Wilders on TV tonight. What are we expecting?
Well, Rutte is under pressure, but Wilders is even more so under pressure because it's simply that Rutte is just occupying one of Wilders' most popular topics. And he has a big advantage here. He's an acting statesman. He's the prime minister. He was able to avoid one minister from landing here in Rotterdam, and he has, managed to escort another minister out of the country. So all of that, he's very much respected for that. He receives a lot of support here by the Dutch public and by all other parties. They're standing behind this politics right now. So Wilders will have to respond to that, and he will attack certainly the Prime Minister tonight as much as he can. But on the other hand, Rutte is just about to complete his second term as a prime minister. He's very experienced in debating, and he will find a solution or an answer to this. But it will be certainly a very interesting debate tonight.
Now, that removal of those two Turkish ministers from the Netherlands, that's put the Netherlands very much in the centre of this diplomatic row between Turkey and various EU countries. Why? And is it because of the Netherlands' domestic politics why this has become such a big issue there?
Well, yeah, I mean, Ankara just did not, pushed basically the Dutch government with their back to the wall, because the Dutch government has, told Ankara beforehand that their ministers would not be welcome here in the country during their own election campaign. Now, since they've tried to ignore that and to come here, nevertheless, the only response that Prime Minister Rutte could give to that in order not to lose support to the opposition parties and primarily to the right-wing populists is to do what he did and to have them leave the country or, not allow them to land here.
Oliver Sallet in Rotterdam, thank you.